But you have to make your life happy and know exactly what your non-negotiables are before you go into a relationship. Because if you compromise on what's really important to you, you won't be happy.
Absolutely. And the problem with that is that you will take that out on your partner in other ways, right? That's the real problem. It's like, we have this idea that we can all be, fucking Buddha or something, and but we can't. And you got to be honest with yourself. It's like, if you're going to give up certain things, that's going to come out in other ways and ways that are not helpful to the relationship and are damaging to the relationship. And that's what I was saying about, any compromise. It's like, that's why anything that you're not willing to give up, or any way that you're not willing to make your partner happy, it better be important enough that you're willing to deal with whatever shitstorm results. That's really the way to think about it. Is like, okay, this is something my partner wants from me. Will I be willing to deal with the shitstorm that I'm going to get by the fact that I'm not satisfying them in this way? And B, what else am I, and part of that is, what am I going to be willing to do in exchange for that? Right? That's really key, because it's not like the person's just going to go, okay, well, I'm just unhappy about that, and they're just going to be bitchy and moany about it. It's like, you're going to have to make up for it in some other way. You're going to have to exceed their expectations in some other way.
Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Yeah, and then you have the issue, when I was talking about the possibility of maybe I could get this girl into some other activity that I really like. It's like, yeah, maybe, but here's what happens is you lose time. And time is really important, because if you're going to find someone you're really going to be with for a long time, the relationship is going to take several years. And, let's say it takes 3 to 5 years. Well, if you're a woman and you want to have kids, how many 3 to 5 year time periods do you have to try and have a real relationship with someone? Maybe you start at 22. Okay, if you're, and you want to have kids by the time you're 35, that's only 17 years. So you have 4 or 5 chances essentially, and that's if you're with someone all the time, which you're not going to be. So you only have a few chances to really make a go of it with a relationship, with a long-term relationship, and probably when you're in probably when you're 22, it's probably not going to be a person you meet when you're 22. Could be, but it's more likely you're more working with 25 to 35, more likely. Oh, I said 17. It's not 17. I did math all wrong. It was 13 years. So 10 to 13 years probably is about what you have, and that's just really not a lot of time. And women are probably not, women are obviously more aware of this than guys, because it's more serious for them than it is for us. But even as a guy, you do have a time limit too. And so, you need to think about that. Now the difference is, I guess, we have to put in a lot more effort on the front end. The number of women you have to talk to or interact with to just get a first date is way higher, whereas women, they don't have to do anything. They just have to say yes and they have a first date. So, so we have to put in a lot of more effort in the front end. So that means that, sometimes we may not spend the time necessary to be able to do that. We may be focused on other things, but we have more time in the aggregate. So the fact that we don't focus on those things sometimes is okay. But yeah, there's a time window for sure, for both. And the time window isn't because, it's because there's biological limits, but it's mainly because it takes time to get to know someone, and it takes time to develop a strong relationship with someone. Even if that person is the right person, it takes time. And the fact is that the person that you're with, most of the people that you date are not the person you want to be with, right? And it's not neither good nor bad. It's just the way it is. Thanks for joining us. If you got questions or comments, you can leave them. Please like and subscribe, and don't be a dick. I don't like dicks.